Hey YouTube, haven't made a video in a while. I think I'll really try to keep this one quick because I'm gonna eat lunch soon. I just posted. Surgery was 215 days ago, July 20th, 2021. Today's February the 20th, 2022. I feel pretty good still. I've been taking again a specific medication for me that was more related towards targeting my vagus nerve. They thought that was why I was having continued symptoms for me, which was the water brash, the nausea, and the sour water taste. This medication seems to have helped me. I'm eating a pretty regular diet that normal people would eat. Pizza, I can have pizza, spaghetti, tacos. I really don't have. Again, the other night I had, I don't remember what it was, tacos or something, and I just forgot to take Rolade after or before, or a Gaviscon, which is just, again, wonderful. That's how you want to live. You just eat. And I'm still mindful. I don't have tacos every night. I don't have spaghetti every night, but, I have a tomato-based meal of some sort maybe once a week, twice a week at most, I think. If it's more than that, I just don't pay attention, and I've been pretty good. I sometimes get symptoms, but it's pretty rare. Pretty rare. If on a scale of 0 to 100 before, I felt like the symptoms were noticeable majority of the time, maybe my scale's wrong, but I notice symptoms 90% of the time, 90% of my day. 95% of my day, which is all day, every day, 30 minutes out of every hour, maybe. And so it's just constant symptoms bothering me. I notice them all the time before the surgery. Now, I probably notice them maybe 5% of the day, maybe. Some days I don't even notice, like I said, and I just eat, and I don't even think about what I ate. I just eat. I mean, we have an agenda and menu to try to help me in terms of I can't have spaghetti and tacos and pizza and a burrito the same week. It's just asking for trouble. But for anybody, really, even if you don't have a hernia or acid reflux issues like I did. Now I don't have a hernia anymore, I guess, but so again, I still eat normal. I mentioned this in previous videos. I eat normal for the most part. That I don't know that there's anything I can't eat. Although I will never try a jalapeno again. I don't think I'll ever, and I used to like raw jalapenos like on a hamburger. I don't think I'll have a pickled jalapeno again. I might have them on tacos, or maybe we have nachos or something. The way I make a taco now, would be mild salsa with, the beef's cooked in some sort of taco seasoning. That's as far as I'll go, really. I'm not having a hot salsa. I'm not going to do that. Not a spicy barbecue sauce or a spicy condiment. I'm not going to do it. It's just not worth the risk for me. I'm scared to death, but I can have spaghetti and tacos and pizza, and I've had a green chili burrito, although it was mild. But actually I haven't had that since I've been on this medication, which was in early December or so. But anyway, so I feel pretty good. My video I wanted to get into, somebody was just asking me about how do I feel with like weight training, and I'm going to call them, and I'm not an occupational therapist or a physical therapist. I'm not a doctor. I'm not giving you any advice. I'm just telling you what I do and what happened with me. Somebody was asking me about weightlifting and getting back to it and re-herniating and stuff. So for me, I started very, very slow. My paperwork said don't lift anything over whatever's at 10 pounds or whatever the first for 7 weeks, and then, as I mentioned in previous videos, lift what you normally would. So I didn't do that. I was really careful and cautious. It might have been, we get a box from, somewhere, delivery, I might lift the box, but I try really to be careful. But at 7 weeks, I started to incorporate more of resistance training, weightlifting. So when I started weight training and resistance training, I think I might have mentioned this before, so this might be a repeat, but again, I don't expect everybody to go through every video, but if you're catching this one, Hopefully it helps. But anyway, I started resistance training, weight training, weightlifting at home. I don't go to the gym. I just do it at home. That's what I choose to do anyway. I just don't want to go to the gym. But I start really, really slow. I had help of a personal trainer. If you want me to give you a recommendation, I can. And he'd do some stuff online, whatnot. But I lifted really light weights and high repetitions, and I went really slow with the repetitions, and I did things that I knew weren't going to engage my core as much. So for example, I wouldn't do like a bent over row to work your back. I would sit on the ground and do a band and pull the band towards me. Is that I could feel it. I could feel when I was trying to engaging my core. So when I was trying to stabilize, and certain movements I knew I couldn't do, so I wasn't going to do that. When I was doing a bench press, I wouldn't do a bench press. I'd do it on the floor. I still am not going to do a bench press. I won't do a bench press ever again. I might do an incline because I don't have to go down as far or back as far. But certain things I knew were going to bother me, and I just didn't do them. So I started really slow. But I was terrified, and still am, really, to be, again, they rely on your scar tissue and those staples, but my understanding is they're not really like a stitch, like a metal. They're not like that. It's more of they're going to dissolve or whatever, I guess, like a stitch. So I don't know why they use this, but they're counting on your scar tissue and your and inflammation to give you that new valve and hold it together so it doesn't pop, right? That's my understanding. So again, anything you do with core engagement and lifting or sneezing or coughing could pop. So problem. But so I went really slow. I was able to do it. Now I'm not lifting what I normally would, but I don't think it's because of my stomach. It is and it isn't. I think I could probably do more, but I'm just still careful. And I am fairly strong. I'm not a bodybuilder, but I'm pretty strong, I think. So I could do more, but I also have other issues that I won't get into. As I talk about it, I start to feel it. But again, my advice, again, I'm not a doctor or anything. I'm not recommending it. Just go very, very slow. Talk to your doctor. See what the physical therapist might say. Get help with a personal trainer. Stuff like that. And don't do things that that are going to engage your core or something like that. You wouldn't want to do, in my opinion, 50 push-ups, and then take a break and then another 50 push-ups or something like that. Just, all that stuff, but anything that engage your core, then you can feel that it will. Some of these exercises, I could feel that I could feel the pressure. I still feel pressure. I don't have as many symptoms, water brash, nausea, sour water taste. I really don't get acid reflux, the traditional heartburn, but even right now I feel pressure. For example, yesterday, my daughter got this toy and I had to put it together. So it was this big, it had walls, but there's no roof, but I had to put the walls down. So I'm like this and I'm pushing down to snap it in place. And it's not a lot of effort. I'm lifting a lot more weight, but it's the action of, pushing down. You don't realize that you're engaging your core. So even if you were outside and you got a new tiki torch for the summer and you're having to put the tiki torch down into the ground, that would engage my core. So it's just amazing what would make that pressure. And I'm like, oh, and it's not like I felt it pop. It's just more of almost like a burp, specifically right there. And I feel like a pressure. It's hard to describe, but and I feel a little bit sore in a way and more pressure since that time at 3 p.m. yesterday. Weird, but I've had it before, and it just over time, days, not weeks, but days, it just goes away and I don't feel the pressure anymore. But I also know I've gained more weight because I've enjoyed eating more. I probably don't need to be weighing what I weigh. I'm 5'7", 5'8", 168 pounds, and I don't want to get past 165 really, but I really want to stay down to the lower 160 range. But to each their own. That's just me, what I'm telling you about myself. I want to stay lower. But certain things like that, putting my daughter's toy together, inflamed my core a little bit, or inflamed my hernia. Why do I get that pressure? I don't know. Again, being a little heavier. I don't want to say overweight, but a little heavier. Eating too much, eating too many carbohydrates. I had pizza last night too, but I felt the pressure before that. So again, certain activities like a tiki torch, putting that in, or a stake in the ground, or putting my daughter's toy together, or certain weightlifting exercises. You just have to be careful, extremely. And when is this going to go away? I don't know. I am fairly symptom free. I'm not normal by any means. I'm not like a person that just feels like before they had a hernia at all and they just don't even ever think about it. They're lucky people. I don't feel like that. But again, I might feel like that 5% of the time. So I'll take it in a heartbeat. I would recommend the surgery. I don't think your situation is probably going to be like mine. But again, this is what happened with me specifically. And I can tell you about the recovery and what to eat and stuff like that. And again, the getting back to the weightlifting, resistance training, exercise was something I had to do. I just cannot, I have to do it. It's part of who I am. So all I can tell you is just be careful if you're doing that sort of stuff with anything, any activity of daily living. Be careful. You might not realize what it would do to you. Getting in and out of bed, in and out of a vehicle, especially for me, lower to the ground. I have a SUV, so it's higher. Getting in my wife's car is tricky. I have to be careful. I might feel that pressure. So am I not healed? I think I'm healed. It's just, I don't know. I wish they could go in and monitor me or somehow put some sort of a sensor on me and watch me literally 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to see, when you got in the car, we noticed that. And because you engaged your core, it put pressure. And, that's normal. You're going to feel pressure for the rest of your life. Okay, but you're safe. You can do most things. But again, if you really tried to fight a bear, I'm over exaggerating, of course, but if you tried to fight a bear and engage every muscle you have, your risk of popping that open is going to be increased 100-fold or whatever. But they're not going to tell you that because I don't think they know. So that's the best advice I can give you is just be careful. I know that sounds stupid and obvious and no, pardon my language, no shit Sherlock, but you'll learn. And it's just, again, I would recommend it. I feel a lot better. But again, I still don't know, how much was the medication helping me versus the surgery helping me, the combination of the two. Why do I still feel the pressure? Why do I still get sometimes the symptoms? Because I have major anxiety and major stress like you would not believe. And I know that's a contributor. So work on mindfulness and anxiety issues as well. You got to take care of that. If you're not an anxious person and you don't have as much stress or whatever, then maybe you don't have as much of an issue. But I do. So if you're having this procedure, calm yourself, and be careful. So this is more, strength training, weightlifting kind of thing, and I guess a general update. But that's what I have for you. Hopefully that helps.